pick a bit of a different from that earlier series where we did have Rex, but this time it's not Rex. The Red Zerg this time around will be the Hong Kong representative. It's GogojOey.
And down here in the bottom right-hand side in the blue, the Taiwanese Protoss player is Haas.
So what's the go here for GogojOey? Because you're talking about seeing some bigger maps. This is obviously GogojOey's pick. He is actually going to go hatch first rather than going through any kind of pool and gas. What do you want to do against a Protoss player that you think wants to go for that sky toss and wants to be a bit of a cheeky boy?
Yeah, definitely going to be something where you want to try and drone very hard, get a bunch of extra queens, a bit of creep spread out, and the idea is obviously to confirm it, right? Make sure there's not some sneaky shenanigans coming in the meantime, and being greedy won't do too well versus a cannon rush, and that's exactly what this is going to be. I think we'll see a cyber core go down before the cannon rush starts. We're going to see 3 pylons on top of the ramp. Most players go for the pylons on the low ground, but Haas is a top of the ramp lover. Let's see where he goes for it. Ooh, he's going to go down to the natural, actually. Oh, he's not even trying to fake it. That probe just goes straight to the proxy location. Is this a 5 pylon wall off? Well, okay, can do it with 4, just barely there. And only 1 drone down here. GogojOey. Let's see what your cannon rush defense looks like. He is not bringing any drones down. He's mining gas. Is he going to cancel? I think he's going to cancel it. There's no way.
He's not really committed to defending that, but he does actually let it finish their peak. You do see the majority of the pylons cancelled out there as 2 cannons committed there for the time being. 3 spines actually at the top of the ramp, and he wants to try and transfer it down there and save this hatchery.
I think he wanted to hide that, though. Those spines on the high ground, why not just build them closer? I think he's saying, look, let's hide them. We'll kill the probe with Zerglings. It's already seen it. Oh, but he does get the probe. Beautiful. Oh, wow. A big mistake there by Haas, actually. No longer able to reinforce this position. That being said, he's going Stargate behind us. He's got the low ground wall off and the depth out. Oh, GogojOey is in so much trouble. He's not even going to get it. Oh my god, he doesn't even get the cannon. Sacrifices every link. I don't think he can save this hatch. Not with a shield battery there.
You see the spine starting to be transferred down. He's in 2 minds about whether he actually wants to go for it. Does start to burrow them, but they bump into each other. The Bergling's actually blocking the burrow. He can't burrow it down. Does bring the queen over here. Wow. The shield battery's out of energy, and he does finally finish off that 1 cannon. But now the Adepts over here to start harassing the drones, and without the queen up there in towards the main, that's going to be annoying to deal with.
Oh, this is a really bad trade. GogojOey bringing the spines down, trying to mass Zerglings. The Adept is still alive up in the main. He's losing so much mining time right now. All of his drones pulled off to surround. They could not get it. He may save the hatch, but he's on 16 workers up against a Haas whose Stargate is finished. We're going to see Oracles coming out in the near future. Haas can drop an expansion behind that, and I think he's in a lovely position.
Oh, undoubtedly. Another Adept just coming up here to join the one that just went down. More spores being invested in, so that's not money being invested in towards the Zerglings for the time being. And surely you just transfer the drones down to the natural into the safety of that spine crawler, but unfortunately it's not burrowed yet, which means even more drones start to go down to this depth.
Oh, I'm just in pain watching this. I've been here before, and it always involves swear words aimed at my monitor. It's so frustrating. You just don't have any economy left over. There's a Nexus on the way. There's an Oracle coming over here across the map. Cancels the second one, starts a Void Ray, but this Oracle alone is a huge problem.
Yeah, there is a spore down at least, which will push it away, but not before it gets 3 or 4 drone kills and does get away with its life. More drones starting to enter the production tab, but unfortunately, you know, even though Haz doesn't have any kind of crazy work account to write home about, it's more than good enough for him to navigate through the rest of this game as long as he keeps this pressure on with the Oracle. The Zerg doesn't even have a comparable work account at this point, so it's going to take him such a long time to get rolling that surely Haz just goes for that next step of just going out there and killing him.
Yeah, I mean, the Void Ray gets an Overlord, and it's the supply block to end all supply block. Starts an Overlord, has to start a second one to even get out of this.
Another Stargate.
Yeah, that's a... And +1 attack on the ground, because Haas. He's like, I'm gonna show him ground upgrades and then make flying units you'll never expected.
It's alright, man. You can't land the Void Rays in this new patch yet.
Wouldn't that be great? Just transforms like a Viking. Just pulls out the little laser crystal, ends up being its head. Has two sunglasses on top of the eyes on it. You know, it is basically a little pylon in front of the Void Ray, isn't it?
Ooh, you could get like a pylon overcharge. That'd be great. Zergling's running out around the map, you know, looking for something, trying to find anything. I think GogojOey more so kind of confirming the horrific position that he's in at this point, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised he's still in the game, to be honest. But yeah, I would have already gone next by now.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, you want to hang in there. It's a tournament match. You don't want to be just going down too easily, you know. Haas, he's the master of messing people up. He's also the master of dropping matches that he's way ahead in. Like, he's very good at throwing away leads, not on purpose, but simply because he's so good in these early opening stages when he's messing with his opponent. He's not good at banking up a lead and ensuring he keeps it. That is just an objective thing when you look at Haas's play. There have been many times he's let leads slip through his grasp, or he's finished the game in a much sloppier way than he needed to, because he's you know, it's not his style. His style is he always wants to be making a play, and he always wants to be messing up the opponent. Sometimes that leads to him being a bit, you know, antsy with it and overly aggressive or something like that. It also means he's an absolute god at finding his way back from behind in games. It's this funny thing where it's like, because he's always in that comeback mindset, he's taking unnecessary risks when he's ahead, but when he's behind, it works out perfectly.
Well, third Nexus coming up, as Haas feeling quite comfortable having saturated that second Nexus by now, moving up to 50 plus workers, not allowing the Zerg player to get a third base established with this little Void Ray hit squad. And he is still adding more Void Rays, but he definitely did add a hell of a lot of gates in the meanwhile as he looks to try to saturate that third base and start to diversify his army past just a you know, fleet in the air, I suppose.
His Void Rays could just overwhelm all those queens on the natural. There's actually not enough queens. And yeah, off creep, caught out in the open. Transfuse goes down, it's not enough. And that is it. Haas can just commit to this. The queens are dropping. There's only a couple of queens left. The Void Rays decide to pull back, but GogojOey knows he's done.
Yeah, a couple of extra minutes of psychological torture there for GogojOey, unfortunately. Not sure that'll be fantastic for the mentality, but he still does have time in this series to try to recover. That was the nightmare start, and you know, all it takes is not the nightmare start next time. Maybe try to you know, manage the cannon rush a little bit better. I feel like it all started, unfortunately, when he couldn't trade with that efficiently enough.
Yeah, I think that's a terrible situation to put yourself in, and we've seen Zerg players make this mistake before and make it again. You know, it's just that thing of like, hey, I'm not going to drone scout, and I'm also not going to leave a drone on the low ground to block you from walling off once I see a probe around. And I honestly think against a player who cannon rushes in such a large percentage of his Protoss first Zerg, it is a massive oversight, and I would say it is just a Zerg player being way too greedy. I mean, we've seen a lot of the top Protoss players, when they play parting now, there's a probe down there. You know, there's some sort of preemptive safety measure, because they realize, hey, you can't just be letting these expert cannon rushers get away with that opening. And I think the defense Joey went for with the spine crawlers on the high ground was kind of hoping it wouldn't get scouted, and obviously it did, and it was a disaster from there. Committing with the Zerglings and so on was just way too behind after that. So a nice game for Haas, but really not being super challenged. And that's always something where I want to see more from Haas. You know, I want to see him go straight to those Void Rays without having an epic lead. Hopefully we'll get to see a bit more of the breadth of his strategy and what that looks like if he's not way ahead from the start. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. And we are back, and we have Haas. He's waiting, he's rearing, he's chomping at the bit. He wants to get out there, and he wants to maul some more Zerg players for your entertainment. GogojOey, of course, though, is not going to go down without a fight.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to turn things around in this next matchup. It is just the first game of the tournament, and I feel like if you draw Haas, and I would even say Nice as your first match, you kind of just feel like it's almost time to go next in terms of the series. At least just looking at terms of the matchup breakdown in this region. So many of these players just have such negative win rates and series win rates against those two players. So let's see if he can take a map, see if he's made of a little bit more than what we saw in that last game, because he's never had an opportunity to play his game at all.
Indeed. We'll hopefully have a better chance on Jagannatha. It's a super duper large map, and wouldn't be surprised to see that Void Ray follow up, no matter what the opening is. I really feel it's going to be Sky Toss every game for Haas. Don't know how he's going to get there. There are a lot of openings that go into Sky Toss, but I'm curious to see, has GogojOey evolved his anti-Void Ray play? Because in the last season, there was a lot of very weak anti-Void Ray play from the Zergs in this region. Lots of running Corruptors into Mass Void Ray, which does not go well. I would love to see if there's some nice Queen Nidus timings and that sort of stuff. Let's see what he's got up his sleeve here in map number 2. In the bottom left, he is GogojOey.
And over on the other side of the map, up 1-0 in this series, wants to secure himself into that winner's match. It will be the Blue Protoss Haas.
And no scout, a very early probe scout across the map to try and block the natural for Haas, but does not get there in time. This is a gigantic map. You need to send that probe at like the very start of the game if you want to block that expo on Jagannatha. So a little bit of a missed time from Haas. It does get in here and starts, of course, denying the minerals a little bit, being as annoying as he can. And does have a probe on the low ground, so yeah.
Oh.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, mate.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking that exact phrase in my head, Pig. I was thinking, yeah, surely he's gonna cannon rush him again. He did see the early probe scout, like he did say, and that just makes me feel like
yeah, no safety precautions again. The same build this time. He does go for the pylons on top of the wall, and Joey here just not reacting. And I want to see a completely different response. Let's see. Does he go for the spines? This time it's a different scenario. Spines can hit the low ground from the main. So let's see exactly what goes on. As seeing no responses, like, all right, let's go straight into cannons. Does he go for the gateway? I believe he will. His Cybercore actually did not start till now. It's a rather late Cybercore version, so he's got to commit to quite a few cannons, I believe. There we go, spine crawlers.
And 2 of the spines coming up.
All right, I think we're going to see a couple more cannons go down. 3 cannons, maybe a shield battery as well. I wouldn't mind a cannon on top of that ramp.
Be able to fight the spines back a little bit.
Baneliness will not be in time to save the hatchery, so that commitment to the Baneliness pre-ling speed, I kind of question that, because you can't really use that to counter-attack, whereas if you get ling speed first, you can just flood across the map after losing that natural and still try and bust him on his side, but it is. Hatchery's getting low, the spine's starting to move over here. Now does Haas try to focus the hatch, or does he fight the spines? He's focusing the hatch. Ooh, he changes his mind actually, but a little bit slow to do so. Those cannons were shooting the hatch for a little bit longer there. Does take down one of the spines. He's got to choose what to focus on. He does now go for it. The pylon, if he can depower it.
Ooh, he's going to bring the Banes in actually. Straight on top of those cannons, and he does depower it. Saves the hatch with 67 HP, but surely Haas will be back. The man has been moving up his tech tree. He's finishing off his Stargate now, and that hatchery is very, very wounded. What do you think, Pete? Do you think it's worse in some ways if he comes back in here and like with a Void Ray or 2 and kills the hatch later on?
I think sometimes in some scenarios, yes, but here, I think this is way better to keep it alive, right? Because having extra production, extra mining right now. He dropped a transfuse on it, which is a good idea. It'll regenerate. Oh my god, he's even going to bust in. The Lings are in there. That pylon's going to go down. That's going to depower the cannon. Oh my god, that Oracle. It's still 12 seconds. It's not going to get out. This is it.
Wow.
Haas was indecisive in focusing down the hatchery and didn't even build a safety cannon at home. The slow Zergling, Baneling bust. Oh, Haas has got to be annoyed at going down to this one.
Yeah, you can see him get up on top of that pylon and take it out, and will now focus down the cannon.
Ooh,
The Oracle does
out.
finally get out, so I think he's going to be okay for the time being. That's a lot of minerals invested in just keeping himself alive, and in the meanwhile, Joey is starting to drone up and get a little bit more comfy onto that second base, and all of that energy used up, and that won't be used for zapping the drones.
Joey's going 4 queens already and spores. I actually think Joey really should have started the 3rd hatch already and should be pulling overlords off the map. I think spreading overlords against Haas is just giving him free kills because he's always going to build probably a void rays later. He hasn't this game. It is 2 oracles for now, but you know, keep your eyes on it. Has to be quick to react to that. But no 3rd hatchery, and this has been more popular recently against people playing against quick Stargate openings off messy openings. Is hey, let's just pump queens off 2 hatch, make sure I don't take damage. Problem is, 2-base Zerg just does not have that much production potential.
You do see a bit of creep spread over in the direction of that 3rd hatchery as an Evo does get added on, and I'm surprised to see only oracles being pumped out of this Stargate. I thought there was massive potential to come in and kill off that 2nd hatch, but it does seem like Haz just wants to focus on trying to zap some drones down rather, but hasn't really been given the opportunity to with those 4 queens from earlier, as well as some pretty decent spore coverage.
Okay, so he starts +1, so we can see why he made +1 in that first game. This is his trick. Sometimes he goes +1, and then he just goes multiple Stargates and masses Void Rays, and it's a fake. And he canceled that +1 just before it finished in game 1. Here in game 2, he says, let's start a bit. And actual Twilight goes down behind it, so it's probably going to be a swap into Zealot Archon, I would imagine, here. And that's cool. That's cool. You can see Haas here just kind of saying, yep, you're never going to be able to really read the information the way you'd want to.
Yeah, that's actually a big thing in Counter-Strike, which I cover more. The same strats look, or you give the same information time and time again. You just add different variations in there to throw your opponent off, so they can never really be sure what's coming at them. The Overlord tried to fly in towards the main there, but won't really get too much info. That's a lot of slow lings, and link speed is not even halfway done.
The power of the feint, mate. Always good to mix in there, and Haas is the master of feinting. Now, these Banelings morphing on the other side of the map, once again with slow Zerglings, this I do not like right now. I mean, actually, the Oracles are diving. They're low on energy. Okay, a warp in does go in the wall. There's a cannon as well. GogojOey, this is a really silly opportunistic push. It's not going to work out. He's even getting through there. A great wall off behind it, and there's a cannon up. Slow Zerglings, most of those are going to die taking down this cannon. And behind it, I mean, the probes can beat that. So what seemed almost like a brilliant idea, just lacking a little bit in the execution. If he waited with those units, they could have denied the 3rd for a long time. Now Haas has a free pass onto that 3rd base. So I think this is actually really playing into Haas's hands. It looks great for him.
Is he gonna even take that 3rd though? Does seem like he's arcing up with a lot of charge or the warp prism is about halfway done. He will move the probe over towards the 3rd base location. I'm keen to see if he's going to chuck a nice from earlier though and just drop that 3rd and go for a bit of a push in front of it.
Yeah, starts +2 attack immediately. He hasn't really used the Robo for much yet. Oh, actually, as I say, the prism pops out. Never mind. Yeah, he's got all the pieces ready. He could go for a very nice push. Still 3 Oracles and a Phoenix alive. There's 6 Queens out, 2 more on the way. Zerglings and Banelings. I mean, Banelings are great versus Zealots. It's just the Zerglings are really bad versus the Archons and Zealots. So you kind of rely on the Queens to help snipe down these units from afar. Banelings to, of course, take advantage of any clumped up Zealots, and it's all about the Baneling hit. Spines going down. He realizes this is a big attack coming. GogojOey wants to hang on. Lots of Ling Bane Queen on the way. He's trying to put down a Roach Warren. He'd like to build Roaches here since he realizes there's no Robo units. It's all just Zealots and Archons that'll be on the way. Prism's up in the main base.
Yeah, starting to harass multiple different angles at once. Interesting that I saw has sort of squeezing a couple of workers in there. I keep an eye on. I want to sort of keep an eye on where he's probing and where he's not probing, as to how sort of committed he is to this attack. And he continues to apply pressure on different angles. He's not winning any of the engagements that hard until actually I see that natural engagement there where he's killing a lot of workers. But he is probing behind us actually.
Oh, Archon's in the main as well. Start off. This is so opportunistic. I don't think he was intending to necessarily kill, but he was looking for damage, and the damage turned into so much damage. And this is the way you take advantage of Ling Bane. The queens aren't mobile. The Banelings want to fight the Zealots all in one clump. You attack 3 locations, Banelings suddenly just become a bad unit. Banelings rely on you clumping up your army and taking a one-directional fight. Cass hit 3 locations at once. He's just bouncing between, and he just rips GogojOey's head off, drinks the blood, and says,